André Santos from Chelsea, keep an eye on this name. Manchester United have André Santos on their list for the new midfielder. He's a player who is not a new name on Manchester United list. Man United already a few months ago were considering André Santos. He's always been on short list. What happened in the last 2-3 days is that Manchester United made contact again with the agent of the player. So Manchester United called over the week the agents of André Santos to understand the situation. At the moment, as of this weekend, Man United have not contacted Chelsea yet with an official bid, with an official negotiation. So at the moment we have to talk about a contact on player side, not on club side with Chelsea.
High Reds reports from trusted journalists including Fabrizio Romano, Sky Sports and Ben Jacobs suggest that Manchester United are working behind the scenes on several exciting midfield targets. According to Fabrizio Romano, one of the most fascinating names now being discussed is Chelsea midfielder André Santos. Yes, you heard that right. Manchester United have reportedly kept the Brazilian on their shortlist for quite some time, and fresh contact has now been made with the players' representatives over the weekend to understand his current situation. At this stage, there has been no official bid submitted to Chelsea, and there has been no formal club-to-club approach. The conversations have been entirely on the players' side, gathering information and exploring whether a deal could realistically happen. However, perhaps the most interesting part of the report is that Chelsea do not consider Santos completely untouchable. If Manchester United were prepared to submit a significant financial offer, there appears to be a genuine possibility that Chelsea could consider doing business this summer. That immediately raises a fascinating debate among Manchester United supporters. Should United even be buying from one of their biggest Premier League rivals? Normally, supporters would say absolutely not, but football has changed dramatically in recent years, and if the player improves your squad, perhaps rivalry should not stand in the way. Personally, I believe André Santos has enormous potential. He is energetic, technically gifted, composed under pressure, and possesses the kind of aggression that supporters love to see in the middle of the park. He plays with confidence beyond his years, always demanding possession, always looking to move his team forward, and never afraid of the physical battle. Those qualities are exactly what Manchester United have lacked during difficult away fixtures in recent seasons. Imagine André Santos walking out at Old Trafford in front of a packed Stretford End. Imagine the atmosphere if he immediately established himself as one of the driving forces in Michael Carrick's midfield. That is exactly the type of signing supporters dream about, young enough to improve significantly, yet already mature enough to contribute immediately. Of course, Chelsea would undoubtedly demand a sizable transfer fee, and United would need to decide whether strengthening a direct rival financially makes sense. But if Carrick truly believes Santos is one of the missing pieces in his project, then perhaps this is a risk worth taking. What do you think, Reds? Would you welcome André Santos to Old Trafford, or would you prefer United to focus elsewhere? Meanwhile, Sky Sports report that Manchester United have continued monitoring Lille sensation Ayoub Bouadi following another outstanding display for Morocco during the FIFA World Cup. Unbelievable, but true. At just 18 years of age, Bouadi is already attracting serious attention from some of Europe's biggest clubs, and United have reportedly carried out further checks this week as they continue assessing his incredible potential. The teenager has looked fearless on the biggest stage, showing maturity, intelligence, and technical quality that many experienced midfielders would envy. This is exactly the type of recruitment strategy supporters have been demanding for years. Rather than spending huge money on aging stars nearing the end of their careers, United appear determined to identify the next generation of elite footballers before their values explode. Bouadi fits that profile perfectly. His awareness, composure, passing range, and tactical understanding are exceptional for someone so young. Michael Carrick, himself one of the finest midfielders of his generation, could be the ideal mentor to help Bouadi reach world-class level. Just imagine learning positional play every day from Carrick himself. That could be priceless for such a talented young footballer. Of course, there are risks involved whenever you invest heavily in young players. The Premier League is arguably the toughest competition in world football. The physicality, intensity, and relentless schedule test even experienced professionals. But every world-class footballer has to begin somewhere, and Bouadi certainly looks capable of becoming something very special. Could Manchester United beat Europe's elite to one of football's brightest young midfielders? Would you be patient enough to allow him time to develop? Or do you believe United should prioritise experienced players ready to challenge immediately? Another huge development involves Aurélien Tchouaméni. Reports suggest that Real Madrid are now seriously considering selling the French international this summer, with an asking price believed to be around 90 million euros. Let that sink in. Not long ago, Tchouaméni was regarded as virtually untouchable at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now circumstances appear to be changing, and Manchester United have once again been linked with one of Europe's finest midfield operators. There is absolutely no doubt about Tchouaméni's quality. His defensive awareness is outstanding, his positioning is intelligent, his passing is progressive, and he possesses the physical dominance required to control matches at the highest level. He has already proven himself in both La Liga and the Champions League. If Manchester United truly want to compete with the very best once again, these are exactly the calibre of players they need to attract. The only obvious concern is the enormous transfer fee. 90 million euros is a massive investment, particularly when United are also strengthening other areas of the squad. Would Tchouaméni transform Manchester United's midfield? In my opinion, absolutely. He is the type of footballer who raises the standards around him. He wins duels, protects the back four, and allows creative players greater freedom to express themselves. Every successful Premier League side possesses a dominant midfielder capable of controlling matches, and Tchouaméni certainly fits that description. But is he worth 90 million euros? That is the question Jason Wilcox and the recruitment team must answer. Speaking of Wilcox, another interesting name remains Borussia Dortmund midfielder Felix Nmecha. Reports indicate Manchester United have completed extensive background checks on the Germany international. Jason Wilcox already knows the player and his family well from their shared time within Manchester City's academy system, where Felix and his brother Lucas developed. That existing relationship could become important if United eventually decide to accelerate their interest. Nmecha offers something slightly different compared to many other targets. His biggest strengths are his athleticism, stamina, and ability to cover huge areas of the pitch. Modern football demands midfielders capable of pressing aggressively, recovering possession quickly, and driving their teams forward in transition. Nmecha certainly possesses those qualities. However, reports also suggest United's interest has not progressed beyond background checks. For now, indicating the club are still weighing up numerous options before making a final decision. Sometimes supporters become frustrated when they hear about background checks rather than immediate bids. But personally, I think this is exactly how elite recruitment should operate. Successful clubs gather as much information as possible before committing millions of pounds. Personality, professionalism, injury history, mentality, and adaptability all matter just as much as technical ability. United simply cannot afford expensive transfer mistakes anymore. One deal that appears much closer to completion is Ederson from Atalanta. According to Fabrizio Romano, the transfer is progressing exactly as planned. An initial medical assessment has already taken place, with the player expected to undergo a full medical in the United Kingdom after the World Cup concludes. The transfer fee has already been agreed with Atalanta, while personal terms were finalised over a month ago. The only remaining major step is completing the medical before officially signing the contracts. This feels like excellent business from Manchester United. Rather than rushing through the process during the tournament, the club have remained patient and professional, ensuring every detail is completed correctly. Ederson has consistently impressed in Serie A with his energy, pressing, ball-winning ability and composure in possession. He is exactly the sort of hard-working midfielder every successful Premier League side requires. He may not always dominate headlines, but players like Ederson often become the heartbeat of winning teams. Can you imagine a midfield built around Ederson alongside another elite signing? Suddenly Manchester United begin looking far stronger, far more athletic, and far more capable of competing against the very best sides in England and Europe. That should excite every United supporter ahead of the new campaign.